What's going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're having a look at the Super Boss variation of this upcoming Kizuna clash against Perona. We've already made a video talking about the 10-star difficulty, the generic Kizuna bosses. If you guys want to see that, I'll hopefully remember to link a card at the top of the video or in the description down below, so make sure to check that out because you do need to beat the 10-star difficulty fights in order to get the Super Boss coins to take on the Super Boss itself. So very, very important that you do that. And of course, this character that you're seeing right here, the Perona, is going to be the 5-star plus version that we're all going to be farming for during this event period. This character actually does seem pretty good. We've already talked about her briefly. Decent free-to-play captain, honestly, and a special that is going to synergize very well with Legend Moria that came out like 2 years ago, but still good utility special, can give color affinity, can give an attack boost instead, and has either damage threshold or a healing capability. Like, this is just a solid unit that is going to see play moving forward in the future, so definitely a character that you want to get. Make sure to work with your alliance to beat these Super Boss fights and get those tickets to get this character completely maxed out. So first of all, let's go ahead and discuss this quick Super Boss. Now, this quick Super Boss is basically built around having the Robin and Koala character as one of your captains, as they deal with a lot of the gimmicks in this quest. So this team composition here, we want to be building fighter and cerebral focused teams because those are the characters that receive the special charge time. When we move on to Battle 2, this is where the Robin and Koala character takes center stage, as they have the captain ability that is allowing you to resist the special reverse that you're inflicted with, and then with their super switch you can remove the 3 turns of damage threshold, and with their special you can remove the barrier. So it just gives you all of these components added together, and of course carries an orb boost into the final stage, and when you reach the final stage the enemy does have an interrupt against orb boosting mechanics. So again, as I said, you know, Robin and Koala are basically built for this fight. If you have them, it makes it a lot easier. If you don't, I would advise to try and find friend captains, as it's going to make your life a whole lot easier for not only getting around the gimmicks, but also being able to do very solid damage against this boss fight. In this team comp idea though, shout out to my girl Karissa who was with me, helping me build these teams together. But this team here, we're using Law as the captain. You could go ahead and use Crocodile as the captain if you want. It is up to you, of course. But Law being able to give super typing to all of our characters kind of negates the enemy super type that they put on their side of the field. So it is something that you do have to keep in consideration. Law's just solid too because he gives us a very good attack boost, but also gives us increased damage taken inflicted on the opponent. And something that you do have to take into consideration as well is that anytime you activate defense down or paralysis to inflict that on the enemy side of the field, they're going to remove your beneficial effects and they're going to give you a really poor attack boost. So you actually don't want to do that. So characters like New Year's Legend Robin, whilst normally is a very good character to use in Super Boss because of being able to inflict a defense down conditional that can stack with other conditionals, in this team scenario you actually don't want to do that, and you basically can't do it. You basically can't bring that Robin into this scenario because she's going to get her special removed, and it's just a really, really annoying thing that you have to take into consideration. Another thing is that if you use Wano slots, the multiplier of the Wano slots are going to be reduced. So just to keep you guys in the loop, you know, if you get a matching slot, it's normally a 2 times multiplier. Wano slots are normally 2.5 times multiplier. In this scenario on Battle 3, the Wano slots are reduced to 1.5. So they get nerfed significantly, which means you want to abuse other ways of matching slots, either normal slots, rainbow slots, Semla, Super Bomb, etc. You just don't want to use Wano slots, which is actually kind of annoying. There's also 1 turn of paralysis, and there's also 6 turns of special bind. And in this team scenario, we've got Rayleigh Gaban, of course, that can remove the special bind, and actually with their super switch, we can remove the paralysis. The super switch also is very good too, because we can get a chain addition. Crocodile, of course, can provide us with a chain boundary, and also provides an attack boost, but Law's attack boost is actually just a bit better. So realistically, Crocodile could be switched out for whatever you want. And then we've got the Black Maria, because we are allowed to inflict delay and increase damage taken to the opponent. And Black Maria states that if we've got a Dex or a Strength captain, we'll get a 2.25 delayed conditional boost, which is fantastic. Of course, if you have the Ulti and Black Maria Legend that came out recently, that is actually a better option because of the way that they work, and you know they just synergize well with this team and also have type advantage, which is a pretty big positive too. But overall, this is what we've got, and because of the way that the team is structured, we can actually fit Luffy in the Straw Hats. So despite the fact that we're not getting a dual conditional boost, which does kind of suck, obviously there's no super tandem on this team, so there are ways to probably improve this scenario that we currently have. But by having Luffy in the Straw Hats, we can get access to their amazing final tap and do still pretty decent damage. I believe this should be in the realm of 2 to 3 billion, something like that, I would think anyway. So that's just one team scenario, that it's one team idea that you guys can take into consideration to take on the Quick Super Boss. And the Quick Super Boss definitely is way harder than the Psy variation that we'll talk about in a moment. So ideally, if you have Robin and Koala as a friend, it deals with a lot of the really annoying gimmicks in this quest, which just leaves stage 3 gimmicks that you have to deal with, being the block slots, the special bind, and the paralysis that you'll have to deal with. So now we move on to the second fight here of the Super Boss Kizunas, and this team composition, of course, is just going to be utilizing the int-driven Beast Pirate squad, as if we're able to, you know, go against a side team and you're allowed to use driven characters, it's pretty straightforward as to what you should be trying to aim for. So Battle 2 is very annoying for this quest, and as, you know, as we said in the previous fight, how Robin Koala was basically built to take on versus Quick, well, in that same vein, Ulti and Black Maria are the captain that they kind of want you to use in this quest here, as you'll have the effect of the Ulti Black Maria switch, which removes the 3 turns of the Rainbow Shield, and when you're in the Ulti Captain, she gives you end of turn damage, and then you do still need a way to get around the damage nullification. In this team idea that you're seeing here, you're actually just going to stall 1 turn, but before doing that, you would activate the Alba super type and his special, which can give you the full board of Wano slots, and then you'll see that you do get inflicted with 3, you get 3 turns of Ship Bind. The potential ability of Shiryu removes that, which is fantastic, but also you are inflicted with super block slots, and because you have a full board of Wano slots, you don't actually have to worry about that at all, so that should be pretty straightforward. So that when we reach the boss stage, we have all of the ways to get around everything. Of course, we'll have the Queen special ability, which can give us color affinity, and of course the conditional boost against increased damage taken with the Kaido versus effect. So that actually works out very well for us. So we'll have the Kaido special, of course. We'll also have the Jack special, which can give us chain boundary. So in terms of the order of specials, you'd probably go Jack first, then you'd probably use Queen, and then you would use the Kaido special. You'd use Queen again because you want to make sure you can actually get that conditional boost, and then you'd probably use Alba, and Alba would give you a chain multiplier addition, as well as the tap timing chain boost and a base attack boost. And even though Shiryu isn't really used at all for his special, he's basically just there because of the potential ability, as we mentioned, and also, well, he actually does remove paralysis for the crew. I guess that's actually one really important component, and we also have the Bato support attached to Luffy, which gives us the ability to remove the rest of the paralysis, as Shiryu only removes 4 turns of it, Bato removes 3 turns of it, so we can remove all of the paralysis completely. And as we already mentioned, Jack, of course, for the chain boundary stuff, but also having the capability to remove Rainbow Shield on the opponent, which is very important. Now you do see that the enemy does have an interrupt, which does remove increased damage taken, or it's whenever you inflict increased damage taken on the opponent, he removes your beneficial effects. It's not really going to be a big of an issue because this effect actually comes from the versus effect, and I believe the enemy can't interrupt that. Even if they can, versus effects cannot be removed by the enemy, so you don't actually have to worry about that at all. So this is actually a really solid team because we'll have a huge attack and orb boost from Kaido, we have color affinity from Queen, and a conditional boost from Queen. We'll have chain boundary from Jack, base attack boost from Alba, chain addition from Alba, and then tap timing chain addition as well. We have pretty much all of the buffs that we could want. Of course, we're not stacking multiple conditional boosts, and realistically, you could probably find a way to do that due to the fact that Cerebral get cooldown on this quest, and there is no Intimidate or anything that you have to worry about. So to be honest, you could probably find a way to squeeze Robin on the crew in some capacity, but this is just a team composition that, I mean, Karissa had built to take on this quest. But this team seems pretty solid and should do a very good amount of damage. I'm not too sure on the exact numbers, but it should be doing pretty solid amounts of damage, at least initially. But of course, these are just some initial teams that we've built. There are going to be better teams that come out as time progresses throughout the Kizuna Clash. with all of that being said, that is going to wrap it up for me for this brand new Kizuna Clash preparation video. Really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you guys did enjoy it, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.